Alright everybody, so last week I reviewed the Air Max 270, a brand new silhouette by Nike that emphasizes a lifestyle usage of the Air Max bag that we all know, love, and has been in our lives for about 30 years. The Air Max 180 is probably one of the most underrated silhouettes of the Air Max line, that, in my opinion. I mean, we all know the Air Max 90, we know the Air Max 1, we know the 95s, but this came out in 1991, and it was the first ever visible air unit that had a 180-degree view. And this was a huge deal at the time. If you look at the Air Max 1 and the Air Max 90 in the 3 years that preceded it, air was always encapsulated, and there was always a piece of foam around it to actually encapsulate the foam. And so having a new methodology to create this 180-degree view was completely brand new, and I really don't think the silhouette gets its due because of that. But with that, let's get into the review. So the first thing you'll notice about the shoe is that it has a really awesome colorway. It's called the Ultramarine, which is basically this purplish royal blue where the Nike swoosh is. The collar has, there are also accents of that throughout the interior of the shoe as well as on the tongue. There is this corally pinkish color that is on the heel cup and other parts of the shoe, and you're going to see that all throughout, but we'll kind of hit that in a second. And then obviously there is a white with mesh and suede panels all throughout. The Air Max 180 obviously has influences from the Air Max 90, but also influences the Air Max 270. So that's what's kind of cool about Nike, is that they really do understand that their lineage matters. With that said, there is that Nike swoosh in that blue that I talked about earlier. There are mesh panels for breathability, as well as the suede panels that kind of permeate throughout. You'll also see a coral-like color closer to the airbag, and finally that 180 airbag on the side. There are also shiny panels made throughout the shoe, so whatever is not mesh is going to be made out of the shiny white material. You can see hits of that in the front over here, as well as around the collar of the shoe right over here. Moving to the top of the shoe, you're going to see the 180 Air and the coral. I really like the tongue of the shoe a lot. I just really like how the white, the blue, as well as the coral come together at the very top of the shoe. On the medial side, not much worth mentioning. Back of the shoe. This is the back of the shoe I really like. So everyone loves the Nike Air symbol. That's there. There is also a plastic heel counter in that coral colorway that I talked about earlier, and that's awesome. And if you look directly in the back of the sole, you should see that 180 over there, which I think is also a very cool touch to the shoe itself. I don't normally like taking out the insoles, but I thought this one was really cool. It's that coral colorway that I talked about, and there's also this Nike International logo that's also on top of it. Looking at the inside of the shoe, not sure how well you can see this, but there's actually a stretchiness to it from the tongue that goes into the shoe itself, and so there are actually side panels where it's attached to the bottom of the shoe. Looking at the bottom of the shoe, you have your classic waffle sole that Nike made famous way back when. It also has the black, the blue, as well as the airbag and coral on the bottom of the shoe. It's very classy Nike. The quality control on these shoes are actually really bad. Despite the fact that these guys had 20 or 30 years of potentially getting better in terms of construction, these aren't that great. If you look kind of close to the air unit, you can see that the plastic and the rubber and everything aren't bonded very well, and it feels like it looks like it might just fall off. In addition to that, you can actually see the glue on the Nike swoosh. And just overall, if you kind of look at that coral colorway closer to the airbag unit, it's going to be hard to see, but it's actually darker in some places and actually looks black, which I think is interesting. And it's happening on both sides, which is a huge gripe of mine. If you're going to be paying for new shoes, and they've had 20-something years to basically perfect how to build these shoes, it should look a lot better, and the quality control really isn't that great. That the icy sole is going to become yellow relatively quickly, just because of the quality that I've seen throughout the shoe thus far. But with that being said, you're not buying these shoes because they're going to be most comfortable. You're not buying them because they're premium. The retail price for the Air Max 180 is $130. The initial batch on sneakers sold out right away, but if you go to Nike.com right now, you can get all sizes for both men and women. They produce these shoes pretty significantly. I'm pretty sure the colors, in terms of how bright they are a deterrent for most people to buy. In terms of comfort, they're okay. You really can't feel the Air unit at all. If you kind of have the Air Max 1 or the Air Max 90, they don't feel any different. I'd say the one thing about the Air Max 180 that is a little better is since they do use a lot of mesh paneling over here, and it's relatively soft suede throughout, It's relatively soft, and so the upper does feel pretty good. But for the most part, it's not, this isn't groundbreaking technology. The cool part is the lineage of the shoe, not actually the shoe itself. Finally, on sizing, I would probably go true to size. The shoes do fit a little long and narrow, so even true to size might be a little too big, but I feel like if I went a half size down, I definitely would have scrunched my toes much more significantly. I think that the fit of the shoe is just long and narrow, so you just kind of have to accept that there's a little give. But if you do want that really, really snug fit, go half size down, otherwise go true to size. In all honesty, I have no idea how anybody used to run in these shoes. What I am super excited about, and why I keep mentioning the Air Max 270, is that there is going to be an ultramarine colorway of the Air Max 270 that I absolutely love. You can see it right here. And so I can't wait for it, and once it comes out, I'm definitely going to cop it. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. I'm on a path to 1,000 subscribers, so help me get there. And that's it. This is the Air Max 180 in the Ultramarine colorway. I'm going to now put these on foot, and see you next time.